Well, interwebs, I finally made it to the greater Denver area. I'm gonna meet MotoTopher and I believe some of the Denver GROM crew. Hey man, I'll follow you because I have no idea where we are. Hello interwebs, I'm here with MotoTopher. We went to this place for breakfast and like I got the most massive pancakes I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, anyway, I had a delicious Americano, some pancakes, some biscuits and gravy. It's kind of cool to just roll around Denver. I don't ever come down and ride around here. Must be nice to just be able to lay back like that. I can't do that. I got nowhere to put my feet. Is it sad? I'm kind of jealous right now. Porsche! It's a nice old Porsche. It's a nice street. This is a nice neighborhood. It's nice to get a change of scenery. How many times can I say nice? You hooligan. No wonder you got flat spots.
1 hour later.
If you want to try it out, you can.
Serious?
Yeah.
I would honestly love to, because I've never been on one.
Well, get on it. Don't want one.
Pretty clean 944, actually.
Yeah, for performance, if you want to ride it to Coyote, you can.
And you won't wreck Toothless?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Well, interwebs, you heard that. I'm gonna ride a GROM for the first time ever. So anyway, back to this whole breakfast thing. Basically, MotoTopher met up with him at a park, and then we went over. He's like, hey, do you want to get some coffee? Sure. So we go to this place, has coffee and breakfast and stuff. So I was like, ah, cool. We're hanging out here. Let's get some breakfast. So order some breakfast and these giant freaking pancakes. Now, granted, I ordered the ones with like chocolate chips and all kinds of like crazy stuff, like dessert pancakes, because we had some biscuits and gravy as like an appetizer. Anyway, like get this freaking cut pancakes are just massive, and then I'm like, ah, frick. I came down to Denver. I got a backpack and a motorcycle. I can't take these things to go because it'll just be like this gelatinous mess by the time I get home. So I got to kill it, you know. Think of the starving children in Africa. You know, they don't have the luxury of not being able to eat food. So I was like, ah, okay. So I ate it all. I'm like, all right, I don't feel bad about myself. I just feel bad about myself. You know, it's that type of like shameful regret of like, I shouldn't have eaten all of this. So now I just have regret because I finished it.
Later.
Okay, well, I have no idea when it shut off, but to bring it into where we are, Mr. MotoTopher and myself have actually swapped bikes. So I'm on his GROM, he's on Toothless, and Toothless looks real nice. That being said, I've got Just Joe in front of me, and I believe Darkness Moto just to the left, and we are on our way to some other dealership. I thought I had a camera running this entire time, so you missed my reactions from my first runs on a GROM, but I'm on a GROM. And this is my first time on one, and I have to say, these things are hilarious. There's only 4 speeds. This is my first time on a GROM. Basically, completely gutless. Oh, dude, the 458. A gorgeous black 458 or 488 over there. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell from the front end alone. I think it's a 458 Spider. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, gorgeous. Okay, well, interwebs, you just missed all of Ferrari of Denver because I wasn't videoing. Again, it's the day for it. But look, there's the backs of nice cars. It's a beautiful 458, Scuderia, Continental, Flying Spur, Continental, Just Joe.
Hello.
A guy that I've got to edit his face out.
Now you can't see me anymore.
Shout out to Ferrari of Denver because we pulled in, I told them we were completely broke, had no intentions of buying anything, and just wanted to look at the pretty cars. And they said that's totally okay. So, good people. Weak. I don't know where we're going. Bye, Ferrari of Denver. I do. I want this throttle tube on that. I'm gonna work.
I don't see why it wouldn't.
Is the bar diameter the same?
Yeah, I think they are.
I gotta get a GROM throttle tube, man. I'm gonna start a whole new mod set. So, my first impressions of a GROM. I keep trying to grip the tank with my legs, and my legs don't. I believe this one's mostly stock apart from the levers, so it's got kind of a cool sound to it. The little single cylinder thumping along, not too loud, kind of cool. Brakes and stuff are actually fairly responsive. I mean, given what it is, it's not, you know, meant to be a super performance machine or anything. Riding position is shockingly comfortable. Suspension's also very soft. I don't know if that's a case of all GROMs or if it's just not set up for my weight, but the suspension is very soft, which causes it to bounce around, so it actually absorbs the bumps some, which does cushion the uncomfortableness of the seat a bit, but after a while it does get kind of uncomfortable. And you feel like you make people happy on it, which is kind of strange. Like, it's almost if people see you doing a stoppie on a GROM, like the guys behind me have been doing several. If people see you doing a stoppie on a GROM, they're like, oh, that's just so cute. Whereas if you see you doing it on like Toothless, they think you're a hooligan. You crazy hooligan! Overall though, it's stupidly fun. And I don't know how people have it as a main bike unless they're only going around like in the city. If I lived in Seattle, or if I lived like in Houston, or if I lived in Denver, I could see having this as an only bike because, you know, I can still wear a backpack, can still do everything that you need to do that I typically can do on Toothless and stuff, but just at, I believe it was 100 miles to a gallon, tires were like, I don't know, 25 to 50 bucks instead of, you know, 300 for a rear. GT3 Porsche. But anyway, tires are 50 bucks instead of 300 and something. Brake pads are stupidly cheap. So, you know, on the whole, for a vehicle to like operate in the city and just kind of commute with and save money and stuff, it makes total sense to have it. Now, I couldn't have it as an only bike for the way of riding and stuff I do, because I do like road trips. I ride around in places where speed limits are higher, because this thing, I got it maxed at 59, and so it just wouldn't work with how I typically ride. But again, like if I lived in a city, having it as like a single bike, yeah, why not? Because it'll do everything you need a bike to do in town, and that's something that's shocking to me. I thought it would feel like more of a liability out on the, like actually out on the road. But it doesn't. Like, it actually gets off the line and accelerates, you know, relative to traffic about the same. Like, it's not super bike speeds by any means, but it does, you know, accelerate stuff in traffic. So it doesn't feel like a liability in that sense. Different from the 50 cc's I was riding in traffic a few weeks back now. It is actually relatively stable as well. Like, I mean, it jostles around, but it's overall a pretty stable platform, really, and you feel very comfortable and confident even riding it around in traffic. And it definitely has a smaller profile, so that needs to be taken into consideration. It's not going to be as noticeable as, say, Toothless or, you know, like a big cruiser or something. But, you know, in places where, like in town where the speed limits and stuff are lower, it seems to be like really kind of a good bike, to be honest. I definitely see why people buy these and have them as an only bike, depending on their riding habits and stuff. Because they're cheap to buy, they're cheap to insure, they're cheap to maintain, and from what I hear, they're relatively reliable as well. Whew, I can feel the heat coming off a Toothless exhaust. You know, if you watch the channel, I find these things to be very fun. Like, GROMs have kind of fascinated me. So being able to ride one for the first time and like seeing how it kind of behaves and feels and rides in traffic and stuff is definitely kind of cool. Oh! Well played. I've seriously never cruised Denver, and the one time that I am, I'm actually on a GROM, of all things. Whenever I get back on that, it's going to feel like a freaking monster.
It will. Oh, it definitely will. It's funny, it's like it feels normal now for me. I'm like, oh, this is normal.
This is probably the most time I've ever spent in downtown Denver, and I have no idea where I am. Oh, yes I do. This is a convention center. Okay, I actually know where this is. That is where the Denver Car Show is.